Amakhosi Nation, Kaizer Chiefs may have dropped 2 points against Mamelodi Sundowns, but there is a lot more to this one draw than just the result. Because the Glamour Boys have shown character, young players are starting to step up, and Fernando Da Cruz is already being forced to find solutions to a serious defensive injury problem. After 3 league matches, Chiefs remain unbeaten with 7 points, and now all eyes turn to what comes next. One of the biggest positives has to be Phili. The young attacker arrived at Kaizer Chiefs with expectations on his shoulders. But against Mamelodi Sundowns, he showed exactly why the club believes in his potential. Phili scored his first Kaizer Chiefs goal against the champions, and that is a huge moment for a player still trying to establish himself at one of the biggest clubs in African football. What makes Phili so exciting is the way he plays. He is not afraid to take on defenders, he has pace, he wants to attack space, and he is showing the confidence to take responsibility in big moments. For Kaizer Chiefs, that kind of young energy can be extremely important. The Glamour Boys need players who can change games, and Phili is starting to look like one of those players. But while the attack is giving supporters reasons to smile, Fernando Da Cruz has a big problem to solve at the back. The coach has been dealing with a growing injury list, particularly at left back, and that has forced him to be creative with his lineup. Against Sundowns, Chiefs had to adapt their defensive structure, with players being asked to operate in positions that were not necessarily their natural roles. And that is where the Sundowns draw becomes even more important. When you face a team with the quality and experience of Mamelodi Sundowns, you cannot afford to lose your shape. One small mistake can change the entire match. But Chiefs stayed competitive, they took the lead, and they managed to walk away with a point. Of course, Amakhosi fans will be disappointed that the team could not hold onto the lead and take all 3 points. That is the next step for Da Cruz's team. It is one thing to show that you can compete against the biggest teams. It is another thing to control the match, protect your advantage, and finish the job. And that is why the next few matches will tell us a lot about this Kaizer Chiefs team. Another player who deserves attention is Luke Bartman. The young forward has already found the back of the net this season, and his movement, energy, and willingness to attack space give Da Cruz another option in the final third. We are starting to see something interesting at Naturene. There is competition for places, there are young players trying to make their mark, new signings are trying to establish themselves, and the coach is building a team that he wants to make more organized, more disciplined, and more difficult to beat. But Cozy Nation, let us not get carried away just yet. 7 points from 3 matches is a good start, and remaining unbeaten is positive. But Kaizer Chiefs are not a club that lives on good starts. This is a club that expects trophies. The supporters want to see the Glamour Boys challenging at the top. They want to see Chiefs competing with Mamelodi Sundowns and Orlando Pirates. They want to see the black and gold shirt carrying fear again. And right now, the foundation is there, but the consistency must come next. Orlando Pirates have already shown their intentions, and with the table so tight at the start of the campaign, every point matters. Chiefs cannot afford to drop points in matches where they are expected to win. The next league test against Richards Bay will therefore be very important. It will give Fernando Da Cruz another opportunity to test his squad, manage the injury situation, and see whether the team can turn this promising start into real momentum. In Cozy Nation, I want your opinion. Do you believe Phili should now be a regular starter for Kaizer Chiefs? And can Fernando Da Cruz keep this team unbeaten while dealing with the injury problems? Tell me in the comments right now. If you are proud of what you are seeing from the Glamour Boys, hit that like button, subscribe to Amakhosi Zone, and share this video with another Kaizer Chiefs supporter. We are going to follow every important development around Naturena, because this is only the beginning. The young players are stepping up. The new coach is starting to implement his ideas. The team is showing fight, and the supporters are starting to feel that something could be developing. But now comes the hard part. Chiefs must turn promising performances into wins. They must stay united when injuries hit. They must keep improving their defensive organization. And they must develop the young players who could become the next big stars of the Glamour Boys. Phili has given us a reason to believe. Luke Bartman has given us another reason to be excited. And Fernando Da Cruz now has the responsibility of turning that energy into something special. So keep believing, Cozy Nation. Keep supporting the boys. Keep demanding excellence. Because when that black and gold shirt walks onto the pitch, it carries more than 11 players. It carries history. It carries pride. It carries millions of supporters. This is Kaizer Chiefs. This is Amakhosi. And if the Glamour Boys are ready to fight, then we are ready to fight with them. Amakhosi for life.